Welcome to day 10, file handling. Whenever you are building any data pipeline, you are always handling some or the other file. Whether you are opening, closing, reading, transforming the data from file, you are doing something or the other with the files. So this is one of the pattern I just want you guys to learn. As a data engineer, we will always be reading raw CSVs from ingestion folder, write clean datasets to the process zone, and log the pipeline events into text files. This is a standard pattern. We are picking this pattern and I'm just trying to tell you how to handle the CSV files. Let us begin with opening and closing the files. Before we go there, let's try and understand how we are using Databricks volume for practicals. Earlier what used to happen is whenever we create a Databricks account, we also need to have a cloud account as a part of it. The biggest challenge with the cloud account was you need to put some, if you wanted to test out few things, you always have to put files either into dbfs or into cloud. But now recently what Databricks has done is Databricks has introduced something called Databricks volumes. Databricks volumes are a space of data that gets created along inside the Unity catalog. Let me show you my volume. So what I have done is I have created a catalog called uh, called the data engineering, and within that catalog data engineering I have put a schema called data, and inside that schema I have created one volume called sample data. The volume acts like a S3 bucket or a storage. It's almost similar to DBFS, Databricks file system, or HDFS, Hadoop distributed file system. In simple words, let's call it as a storage. Now within that storage, what you can simply do is you can upload different files, you can create directories, and within that directory you can perform operations. This is good enough for creating a real world type of scenarios and testing the things out. Let us come down to how this volume we are using in the opening and closing of files practical. What I have done is I have prepared a file called sample.txt and I have already uploaded it into the volume. You can see the location as well, like volumes, my catalog name, then schema name, and then the directory structure in which the data is present. Now let me just run this. So what I am using for opening and closing the file is a Python function called open. This is a safe way of opening a file. Rather, this is not a safe way. In few minutes we'll learn the safe way of opening the file, but this is how we use the Python function called open. What Python function open takes as an input is location of the file and in which mode we wanted to open the file. It After the open function performs the operation of open, it assigns a cursor to or pointer to a variable called file. Now that variable you can use to read the content of the file. So file dot read, you can get the complete content of the file, and then you use that variable to close the file as well, file dot close. So let's run this and you should be able to see that the entire content of the file is read. Yes, so the entire content of the file is printed. Moving to second operation, something called with. How with helps is the with open automatically closes the file. So if we do something like if we use this API or let's say method open along with a function called with, it will automatically close the file. So there is no need to explicitly close the file. This is what is being done here. So again, the same thing, open takes the location of the file in which mode you wanted to open, and then it will assign it to a variable. Once the operation within the with is performed, it will automatically close the file. Now if you want to read the file line by line, you can do that with iteration. What you would use for iteration? You would use a for loop for iteration. So now again we will open the file in a safe way with open and a variable f. We will iterate line by line. We want to iterate line by line. So for line in f is an iterable, so you can just iterate over it. Just at a time you will get something as a line, and then what you can simply do is you can print the line. Let me try to add some text also, so that you get a feel that okay, I have run it right now. Okay, so now some text is also added in each line. Okay, so this is how you read the file line by line. Imagine that you have opened a file as a text editor, and then you are reading line by line, and then each line, because of the for loop, you are getting the facility, or you are getting an capability to do some operation on top of it. Okay, moving to next, opportunity to apply some conditions. If you are able to loop through it, then definitely you can also apply some conditions using if. You can, for example, let's say I am applying a condition called line dot starts with. If line dot starts with is hello, then just put a concatenated word awesome, like this. So you can see, we are, what we have learned so far is we are capable of opening a file with the help of with keyword. We are able to close it automatically. Within that, since it is assigned to an iterable, we can iterate over it. Each line we get a uh, control of whatever we want we can do with, and also we can use the conditional statement as well. This is the beauty of uh, Python. Writing to a file. The now what all things we have done is we have read the file. Now we'll uh, we'll open the file in a write mode. So with open, we gave the location of the file, but now we are opening the file in a write mode so that nobody else is able to write. What all we are writing? Data ingestion started and file validated successfully. So let's write it down. Now let's try to read it as well. Okay, let's try to read it. Correct. Data ingestion started and file validated successfully. This has been printed. So what I have done just now is, you saw that when I was just trying to write it, Databricks assistant kicked in and it gave an amazing tip that okay, do you want to write this? And I just pressed tab, and it was able to take the suggestion, and then we were able to read the file. So this is the beauty of doing anything on Databricks notebook. The Databricks assistant kicks in. It already knows the context, and sometime it's like as if it is reading our mind. It's so beautiful. Okay, now moving to the next, which is reading and writing the CSV files. So whatever we have done right now till now is the text file. We'll do something with the CSV. So first of all, let's write a CSV file. So what we have done here is we have created an array of header, import CSV array of header. Then we have created few rows for that, and then we'll be combining and saving it as a CSV. Now what we will first do is we'll try to open a file in a write mode, and to that we will use the CSV writer, csv.writer, and we will get the cursor assigned to it, and then with the help of writer we'll write the header and then rows. If we write the single row first, so we'll write the header and then we write rows, multiple rows. So let's write it down. Let me just add one more row to it. Let's see if Databricks assistant kicks in. See, so beautiful, right? It is automatically coming. So I can just press the tab and say that yes, okay, this is fine to me. So I have added two more elements. Let me try to. So when I was creating this exercise, I created three. So I now added just two more, and let's see how it works out. Yes, those 4 and 5 are added. So what I have done here is I have created a header array. I have created rows for my CSV. I opened a file in a write mode and wrote down all those things in a sequence. So first of all, I used writer.writeRow to write header, and then I wrote down the rows. So rows are then written. Header and rows are written. Once that is done, once that is done, uh, I have also tried to open the same file with and open and in a read mode, and I was able to read it back. Similarly, we can use dictionary. Using dictionary and dict writer, prefer dictionary for column name access. So what we are doing is we are just opening the file and we'll read it as a dictionary. So how it will be read as a dictionary, we'll see. Import CSV. CSV dot dictionary reader would read the CSV file as a dictionary, and then that reader you can use. So in this way, how it will be different is we will have access to column names. If we read the CSV as a dictionary, we will have access to something for column names. So then for each row you can see, you can address it via column name, and you would very easily be able to point that okay, this is name and this is an amount, like that. So you don't have to like go array by array or element by element, you can address it via column name. That's the beauty of dictionary reader, dict reader. So let me just print row as well. Let's see what happens here. Okay, so a row would appear like this. So when you read it as a dictionary, what dictionary reader would do is it will take the column name and it would append it like that. It will create the dictionary of each and every row. Every row is converted to dictionary like this, right? ID name, then ID 1 name Akash and amount as 12,000. ID 2 name Priya and amount as 8,000. So like that, each row is converted to dictionary, and then you can very easily address each row as a dictionary element like that. Perfect. There might be some need that we would want to read it like this. Writing dictionaries. I'm not sure why it is not working. Let me try to write it down. Maybe some operation is not supported here. Okay, there are few operations which are not supported in volume. What I was trying to write down is a dictionary, but I think volume has certain limitation where I was unable to write a dictionary. Let me still check later, and maybe I'll put it as a different video. But yes, reading is reading like a dictionary, and this example I was just trying to show how to write a dictionary back, but there was no point in doing that. Handling file errors gracefully, this is very important. So whenever you are dealing with files, you are bound to get some error that file is not present and all. If you don't handle it well, then you would have some random errors getting printed, and the biggest challenge of getting random error printed is it is very difficult to debug them. Then in such case, uh, what we should do is we should always do a error handling, and one of the good error handling is with open. You always use open. So with open is a very good way of, as I mentioned, opening the file, and once that is done, so if there is an issue, you should handle it well with a proper exception, that is file not found error. It will automatically throw that file not found, and you can say that okay, file not found error has occurred. So this is good way of handling the file exceptions. There is a mini data engineering scenario in which what we are trying to do is we are trying to read from one CSV file and write it down to another CSV, doing some transformation and then writing it down to another CSV file. So we are opening both the files, one in read mode you can see, and another in the write mode. Okay, and then for reading we are using CSV dot dictionary reader. Dictionary reader, as you already know, converts each and every row into a dictionary with the help of headers. So we get the data in that format, and then you can start manipulating the data, and then you can start writing it down. So you are only writing ID, name and amount back into the dictionary, and then writing it back to the file. What you are doing here is in between that you are doing some operation. uh, what you are doing is you are trying to strip and title, like correct the names and all. Once that is done, you are writing that dictionary back to your CSV file. So once we run this, we get like clean file written successfully. This is just a mini data engineering scenario where we read a file, did some transformation and return it back. So whatever these exercises I'm taking, right, so these are all learning Python in the context of data engineering based on the day-to-day activities we see or do handle, right? That's kind of a sharing an experience of how a data engineer's life handling the Python works. Okay, so thank you guys for listening into this, and we'll get back to you with the next set of video where we are going to learn something special called advanced file handling. What we learn in that, let me just quickly check, like JSON, XML and YAML. So these are like what we have seen in the day 10 was handling text and CSV files, but it's not always text and CSV. We may have to handle multiple type of files. So we'll learn JSON, XML and YAML handling as well. Thank you guys for listening. Thanks.